May have done something wrong. Try that one more time. Last week, I accidentally kicked everybody out. Oh, no, it looks like it's working. Here it is. All right, cool. So we just went live, and today I'm going to be covering the high-level conversational AI. I'm going to talk about what autopilot mode is, the different courses we have for setting it all up, and what the difference between using autopilot mode, which is where you go to your AI agents in the dashboard, the difference in using that and using a workflow-based setup, which is what we call a deep AI setup. You can use it to handle multiple scenarios. And just by watching this training, you're going to understand um, really the potential behind using these types of workflows to manage your conversational AI. To say it simply, it's so when somebody messages your business, you're going to have a workflow that's going to sort out, is this a client? Is this a non-client? Have they filled out their onboarding form? Have they not? Do they have their weekly meeting scheduled? And then it's going to answer their question and then respond with what we need to move the needle forward, which could be finishing onboarding form, whatever it is, payment failure, and handle those scenarios. Now, as a guy who just sold a company that had 80 full-time employees with, 5 or 6 departments, I can tell you we have whole teams dedicated towards single issues like onboarding form not submitted or, whatever it is, payment failure. And so as you scale your company, you realize, dang, we're losing 10K a month because these many people don't have their payment on. So it makes sense for us to hire 3 VAs. We'll pay you guys 1,000 a month, 3 of you, to get that done, to get that fixed and to keep it fixed. And so that is where AI really can save you a ton of money if you execute it properly. And so you just have a list of everybody that's missing their payments. You send them all one message, and then when they reply, the AI can check whatever the issue is and then be like, "Wait, this is what we need from you." And the AI can even update the information in the system, send them the payment links or whatever you set it up to do. So let me explain how we achieve this. And there's a couple of things. Like last week, I did a training, or 2 weeks ago, maybe it was just, I do 3 of these a week. Maybe it was just last week earlier. I did a training on knowledge bases. They're starting to make it where you can have multiple knowledge bases assigned to each bot, which is one of the complexities about handling different scenarios. You really need like different, you want to have different answers. Like for instance, I have a white label agency fulfillment side and a small business side. The pricing is not the same. The AI is going to mess up on the answers if we have one knowledge base. And so I'm going to show you guys how we in workflow are able to get around the fact that you can't do multiple knowledge bases. You can't do knowledge bases on the workflow AI and cover a lot of other things that I bet you're not going to be able to hear anywhere else. I'm also going to cover, and I'll cover right now as I share my screen and start getting into our AI dashboard. I'm going to explain why the conversational AI is better and give you guys a general introduction into conversational AI. So I started working with conversational AI with WooSender about 4 years ago. WooSender was a system that had almost really no AI in it. And basically you'd set up a series of outgoing messages, kind of like a campaign in HighLevel or a workflow where it's like text at this time, email at this time, all standard static messages. But when somebody replies, it would it would be able to help them book, or if they used a keyword like it was a solar bot that we were mainly doing. If they said, "Hey, my roof's too old," it would say you can get your roof replaced along with the solar. Would you like to book an appointment at 2 or 5 p.m.? So there's really two components to a conversational AI. One is that outbound campaign, and the other is what we call a response library. Now, when AI truly came out, that is when, let me go into my sub account. That's when the response library became replaced with an actual language, a large language model. So we started using a Zapier-based GPT agent, like connecting Go High Level to Zapier, just like another guy in this meeting was doing to patch AI through. I got so excited about AI. That's actually when I taught myself to code. And you know what? I'm going to show you guys this app that we made while I'm talking about this. If you're trying to integrate AI, I made this app and taught myself to code just to be able to integrate AI into high level. And it's one of the bonuses we give away with affiliation. So you can build Zapier bots and all sorts of AI tools with these apps with integration tools to high level. Let me find it. Mass market. Here it is. And somebody's trying to join. And guys, there is going to be a reason to me going through the whole sequence. I'm going to give you guys the foundation of this and take it all the way to the state of the art, which is what is going on now native inside high level. Right now, I'm trying to find my screen so I can let somebody in. Mark, and I'm going to share my screen now. If I seem like I should be sharing the screen and I'm not, guys, please tell me. I'm notorious for forgetting that. So we created this Zapier and Make application, which are great if you are trying to integrate like a different AI model than what's available in high level. You can use DeepSeek, or you can use the reasoning models of AI for complex tasks. Like if you wanted it to do research on case law for an attorney once he gets his intake form filled, you'd want to use O3 or something more powerful, or DeepSeek. And you can connect it with this. So we've got a Zapier model version, and we have a Make version. We're working on an N8N version. Zapier is easier to use, a little more expensive at scale, just because they charge you a little bit every time you do an automation, just like all these things do. Make is a lot cheaper at scale, and Make will get cheaper than High Level's premium actions. High Level's premium actions are great, but they're kind of hard to set up. So this is what we have. Now, if you have a high level account, you've got the lead connector Zap. That's built on the 1.0 API for high level. If you don't know what that means, it's basically like the older version, the basic integration tool. You can use it to connect to like get information from other websites. It's
Yours
not
is 2.0.
Yeah, mine is built on the 2.0. And so the 2.0 is secure, and you need it to connect to things like OpenAI. Like you can't connect to OpenAI unencrypted. So you're going to need the 2.0, and that's what this is built on. You do need the
For sure.
497 Go High Level plan to use the 2.0. And so if anybody watching this wants to be able to use this app, guess what? You just upgrade to the 497 through my link, and you've got the app for free through me, and a lot of other bonuses I'll cover later. But look at all these things we've mapped in. And so all of these things are available for you to use. And when you think about what you can do by connecting high level to where you can use Zapier or Make this efficiently to set up automations, it's really, really great. A lot of cool things you can do with AI. For instance, like processing post-call transcripts from outbound AI voice tools. That was really the main thing I was using it for. Like after an AI conversation finishes with a tool that does outbound voice, which I understand why high level is not offering that. It's really risky. And I got out of that industry because there are a lot of people who just abuse the technology. I realized it wasn't the type of clients I wanted to work with. So I got out of really using that as my front offer. But when an AI call finishes, you're going to get a webhook app back with the transcript. You can analyze the transcript with a really high powered AI model inside Zapier or Make, and then have that model choose which of these actions to take. Right. And so the possibilities are pretty big when you think about that. All right. And so now I'm going to go back over into the evolution. We go from the Zapier model to then I started using ZappyChat and CloseBot. ZappyChat and CloseBot were great tools. They made it work a little bit better than going straight through Zapier, and allowed you to have more control. Like you could have sub prompts. And I'm not even going to try to get into explaining that, because the one pitfall with those platforms is there's no way when you send a manual outbound message in high level, there's no API action to pull that data. And so there's no possible way that any of those integrations like ZappyChat, CloseBot, all these different things, none of them can see it when you send an outbound message. It's going to be missing from the memory of the AI. Same thing if you have an outbound email go out from workflow or a workflow text message, it can't see none of that. And so it always doesn't, it's missing things in the conversation. The native high level AI can see everything you send out. It can see all the automated messages. And so that it understands the full context, and the answers are 10 times better. Context is way more important than anything. If even you and I walk into a room, we don't know what's going on, the stuff we say is going to sound pretty dumb. And so you need to know what's going on in the room to be able to reply correctly. And that's why it really just beats using a higher power model, and it will work better just by having the right context. So that's getting into here. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. What was it? I'm just going to blow past that. Hopefully it'll come back to me. And I'm going to go into just the regular AI setup and what you can use that for. So I'm starting to remember what it was. So we have a course for setting up the AI at 2 different levels. And I'm just going to show you guys what we have. As you guys see, I've been doing this since the very beginning, and I was integrating WooCenter into HighLevel 4 years ago. But we've got a bunch of courses. These are for integrating third-party AI systems like Zapier Chat and AI voice systems that do outbound. This gives you access to some of our apps and things. If you get access to our affiliated side, you can just put in an IT request. You'll get all the instructions when you come on board, and we'll give you those apps. So I've got courses that show you how to integrate third-party tools, how to use third-party AI voice. But I am fully sold on AI voice outbound is not going to be better than a text message. I don't do cold outbound illegally. And if you have opt-in and you have consent, somebody that clicked on your ad on Facebook, you're going to book way more people for way less money if you use a text message. The only reason you wouldn't do that is if people are saying stop too much, which only happens if you did not have consent. And so I just don't mess with it anymore. And I don't want clients to do either, really. It just is a big trouble because you build your business on something like that, it's never gonna scale the right way. The carriers are gonna be fighting against you. And if I know one thing is don't go against the grain. I'll cold call until I get enough recurring revenue to pay for ads. And that's how you should think about it, in my opinion. So this is our course on the native AI setup, and I've got 2 levels. So the basic AI setup, and I know what I was going to tell you guys about. So I was talking about the importance of everything being integrated. And I'm going to go to this. Well, I'll just explain this here. So everything being integrated and it being able to see your outbound messages and see the workflow messages is huge. And so I made this supercharged AI employee snapshot and I introduced it on my masterclass with HighLevel, which is right here. And if you guys want to get access to the bonuses, this is where you do it. You can do this form here. You fill it out twice. And what makes it supercharged is I increased the integration so that there's even more context. So now the AI voice usually doesn't have a memory of past voice conversations, like the basic inbound voice at HighLevel. It only knows about that conversation. It also doesn't know about any of the things in the automations or the conversations happening over WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, web chat, email. Like those are the other channels conversational AI handles. It's not connected to the voice AI. Well, basically, I have a snapshot that does connect it. So it creates a memory system where the voice is aware of the text conversations, the text is aware of the voice conversations, and of the past voice conversations. Essentially, I'm just summarizing the transcript and passing it in custom fields between the bots, just like we used to do before it was all in HighLevel. And so, as you can see, that's going to deliver the most unified, like aware experience of any platform I'm aware of. I don't know of any other AI voice or text platforms that cover this many channels. And so this is probably one of the most state of the art in terms of its integration. If you are, for instance, in an industry where you have data privacy, like if you are a med clinic or you are an attorney, that makes this even more special for you because if you use an integration like Zapier to connect an outbound voice system or an inbound voice system, or you're using third-party text bots, well, guess what? All of your data is leaked in those logs. So there is no HIPAA compliance or setting like that for Zapier or Make or N8N, none of them. So all of them are against the rules to use if you have to keep your client's data, erased every few months. I can go into Zapier and Make and look up details from it's all your client's data is exposed in there, especially if it's not your Make account. So keep that in mind. So the only true like HIPAA compliant, or if you're in the law field, I know it's not HIPAA that you have to comply with. I think that's medical, but your data is exposed in there. And so the fact that HighLevel has it all happening inside one place means like it's pretty much the only compliant way for you to have inbound voice and all those other channels in one system. It's really cool. And now I'm going to start talking about the difference in deep AI versus traditional versus like the standard. So now I'm going to get into the dashboard of HighLevel. And guys, you are all welcome to ask questions. I know that frequently I'll say things that people don't understand because I'm getting too techy. And so if anybody has questions, just let me know.
Can it perform manual tasks?
Yeah, you can do manual tasks in workflow triggered by the conversation. So I'll show you how to do that with the deep AI. Obviously, it depends on what kind of manual task, but if it's like a manual task in high level, yeah. If you can
Like
do it
posting,
in like what?
like posting.
Posting for that, posting on if AI has I don't think that they have integrated any like actions in the so if you wanted to post, you'd use a social planner and you generate your posts inside the social planner and post there. So you're thinking like if a client texted you, they'd want to be texting and make a post?
Oh no, it was just that simply. But yeah, the social planner satisfy that. So what about
Yeah.
responding to maybe the DMs of the post
Ah,
or comments?
yeah. So the conversational AI in a high level totally replaces many chat. So just in
Okay.
workflow, you can have AI reply to comments. You can have AI DM the person that left a comment,
Hmm.
and you can have it reply to DMs and book appointments and use knowledge bases and do everything I'm going to show you in workflow. So it is, yeah, even more integrated than I said so far. We had two people join. I'd love to meet real quick, at least. Let me see who it was. I'm new. Dan. Dan, nice to meet you, bro. I'm gonna take a picture of that so I can find you later if I need to. Dan, would you mind telling me like what kind of business you have real quick and what you know about high level? If you can come off mute. And same for you, Noor. Either one of you guys, whoever can come
Can
off.
you
Dan, I
can you
see.
hear me?
Yes, I can. Dan, how are you?
Okay. Um, I'm I've owned a bit of real estate, but I'm starting over.
Mm-hmm.
Just went through a divorce, so I'm going into wholesaling right now and
Okay,
trying to get some house deals and build some
cool.
house.
We've got two sub two members in here in this group right now in the on the Zoom. And
Well, I
then
put my number on there. If you guys can reach out to me, I'd much
mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I'm happy to
Then
pay for a phone call to get a few minutes on how to get
yeah,
up to speed on Go High Level because I've only used other CRMs.
absolutely, bro. So high level, I was the 80th person certified in the world out of 2 million users. I've taken three businesses to six figures a month on the platform, spent 1 million of my own money on ads, and I'm probably the only certified person who's been a guest speaker on their masterclass. And so I'd love to help you. We've got a side to help you as a small business. If you want to have an agency and have clients, we do fulfillment for you. And there's a link that I dropped in the chat earlier, and I'll drop another one here at the end to let you book a one-on-one with me.
I'm
Um,
interested in outbound AI calling. I'm looking at
okay.
retail AI. I want to know if that can be plugged in somehow,
It
and
can.
outbound SMS.
We'll get more into that on a different. I covered it a little earlier on here. I don't know if when you jumped in, I talked a little bit about that, but we've
I
got
jumped in
course.
right on time, but then it took me to some pre-recorded thing, so I don't know what happened.
Uh, so that link is for booking, and when you book, it'll take
Oh,
you to that one. I think
okay,
the text said
my
click there to
bad.
RSVP, but yeah, you're good.
Okay, muting out.
Um, so guys, we've got the native AI here. And this is where you set it up. Now, as you'll notice, like you can say which channels you want each bot to work on. So you can have a different bot for each channel, but that's as flexible as you can get. So I'm not going to tell my current clients, you guys have to text me and new people have to hit me on WhatsApp, right? I mean, you could break it to where current clients hit on WhatsApp, but the reality is your clients are going to hit you on whatever channel they can, and you need to be able to handle it regardless. So in our course, we have two levels of AI setup. One is for the quick setup, and that's what this is. You can set this and your inbound voice up to be able to answer questions and book in about 15 minutes max. You can just give it your website, it'll be ready to go using our course easily. Now, the deep AI setup is where you're going to get it truly integrated, where you've got the memory of past voice calls, where it's aware of the text channels, and where you can have scenarios for each type of person reaching out to your business. So I really just wanted to show you this to show you where the limitations are. And as far as setting it up, it is super straightforward. You put the name, pick Autopilot, you choose the channels. You don't even need to enter that. You can set these settings up. This is how I like it. And for training, you literally are just going to put the website in there and say go, and it's going to scrape it. You're pretty much ready to go. We've got some other prompts that can help you set it up a little better inside of our course. But the bot goals are pretty straightforward. It's going to set up the prompt for you. You don't really have to do anything there. We've got some other custom fields that you add to the bottom here that allow it to have the memory of past voice calls. And as far as the deep setup, that's going to be the real main focus of this call. Setting this up is really, really easy though. Now the deep AI setup, it takes, instead of 15 minutes, we're talking more like 4 hours. So a lot of times agencies will come to me and they'll say, hey, I want to really, refine the different scenarios for my industry and set the AI up to be able to handle somebody whose payment has failed, that it's a client versus a non-client, all the other different scenarios that you would have. So this is how I'm going to find. Here we go. So this is my AI, my workflow AI replying to Duran. One of the really cool things is I can go in here and you can see everything that went into, so you see it's saying it's a workflow. You can look and see the personality, the additional instructions, the questions, and even the chat history that it's referencing. Because remember, I was saying how important it is that it can see the automations, and that's what this is. These are the automated messages coming out. So you're able to see everything that's going into that response and even edit it right here, which is powerful if you're setting these up for clients and you want them to have a little bit of autonomy to fix things quickly. Not all of them are going to want that though. So now I'm going to go into the workflow. And one cool thing in the chat, in the conversation history, not only can you have every single channel, so SMS, WhatsApp, email, Kixi, Instagram, Facebook, web chat, you can even integrate third-party conversation providers, and you can see messages across all your phone numbers. You can import phone numbers, all your emails. You can choose what you want to send out from. There's not really this is a great unified inbox, and especially great that AI can handle all the channels. But this is the deep AI workflow. This is the main thing you get, or one of the most important things to start with, and then you can kind of edit it yourself to add more scenarios. But it's a big workflow, and this is one of the things that's included in the deep AI setup course. So as you can see, this one manages only certain channels, and we're going to start with a trigger. It's just going to set it off from the message. And then we're starting our sequence. And I just want to show you guys the different scenarios. So we've got one response tree for SMS. It's going to check the contact types. This is where you can see, is this a client, non-client? And we see we're filtering by tags to determine which prompt to go to. So I'm sure you guys can understand how to use if statements to filter, like if this has the client tag, then go to this, this tree, not client tag, go to the other tree. And then once you get down here, you just keep breaking it down until you get to the scenario you want to adjust. And this is kind of how it works. So once you find the exact scenario, that's when you're actually going to have AI analyze what's being said. There's one part I want to point out here. So if you'll notice, there's no spot for me to connect a knowledge base, which can make it difficult if you're dealing with a client versus non-client, or like in my business, I've got white label fulfillment versus small business, which are very different ways I want to speak to them. I'm not going to want to talk about things in techie terms to someone who's a small business owner the same way I would with an agency owner. So it's like you have to say things differently, not to mention there being different pricing and services. So what we do to fix that problem is you can use a custom field, and you can have custom values that are system-wide, which are even more useful in this scenario. So custom fields are unique to each contact. A custom value is going to be true for all contacts in that sub account. And so you can create a custom value that has a knowledge base for each different conversational AI prompt. And that's how we do it. So we'll drop the custom value in here along with the instructions, and then it handles the scenario. So I hope that gives you guys a basic idea of how it works. The course is going to really help you break it all the way out and set one up from A to Z. But the main thing I want you guys to grasp is how you can handle scenarios and really how to handle the specific problems that come with managing a conversation in workflow like this. And one of the main ones is missing out on that knowledge base. And so a custom value is the way you want to do that. And I'm going to open it up for questions. I can get a little bit more specific, but we don't have time for obviously it's a 4-hour setup, so I don't want to get too much more specific. But let's open it up for some questions. And as you guys think of those, I'm going to get ready to cover the bonuses that you guys get with affiliation and everything else you need to know if you're ready to jump in and set one of these up on your own in your system. But let's open it up for questions. You guys can raise your hand or just come off mute, and I'm ready when you guys are.
Is that what's called a snapshot, and you just download it to
Yes.
your Go High Level?
Good question. So snapshots, and I'm going to pull up a page that's going to make it easy to see this. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. So snapshot, I try to answer all these questions that are important for somebody just new to high level on this page right here. And I'm going to drop it for you guys in the chat. It's also the same FAQs that are on my QR code on my video when I'm on Zoom. But right here, a snapshot, it's going to have a bunch of different things in it. And remember, I was talking about how custom values and custom fields are things you can set up to hold memory. So when I'm passing a memory item for a contact, I'm using a custom field. If it's a knowledge base that's system-wise, I'm using custom values. You can see conversational AIs can get passed, dashboards, text and email templates, workflows. And so, yeah, basically, this is one of the important things that you get along with the course. And the course is going to help you take it from just installing all these things to then knowing how to customize it for your business. And the other things that are going to come with affiliation, I showed you guys the list of the actions you can take within my app, the Zapier and Make app. You get both of those. You get access to 3 group coaching calls. We've got a few clients in here who just started coming to those, but I see every person who is one of my clients at least twice a month. I think that's really important. It's the same thing that I did in the businesses that I was able to scale up. And so like the owner, I at least saw the co-owner, I'd see him at least once a week. In between that and then delegating my team to manage the problems and fix the problems in the business, we had a ton of success. And so it works the same way, whether you're a do-it-yourself or you're a done-for-you client, you get access to 3 group calls. They're 1 p.m. Eastern, so an hour before a lot of you showed up today, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. I haven't missed one since we started doing it. And then you also get all of the courses. I think it's 3 or 4 now. The community has 11,000 members. And for those of you who are saying, I want to get involved with real estate, like, or whatever industry you're in, if you want to know the AI secrets in that industry, my community is a great place to make a post and connect with everybody else. I've been running ads for high level AI since, since before this stuff was in high level. You get my snapshot and you get my website template, which you could use if you are starting an AI agency. And I think those are the basics. You get IT support for yourself and your agency as well. So you got question answering. The done for you doesn't start unless you get on a white label fulfillment package. And if you want to get started, even if you're on the 497 plan, fully upgraded, you can still use my code for AI employee and turn one sub account on. If you fill this out one time, I'm going to get your information, like what type of industry you're in, name, email, phone, and then you get invitations to these to join the live on Zoom if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook right now. And then a second survey pops up when you finish. That second survey will walk you through getting affiliated. It'll ask you what plan you're on now and how you want to get affiliated. It'll walk you through the whole thing. And I think that's it. Do we have any more questions, guys?
Yeah, Rob, I wanted to ask, are there any videos or lessons on how to market all this to clients?
Yeah. Well, depends on like what way you're thinking of. Paid ads, cold calling. How do you want to, do you have any idea? You want me to kind of give you my direction?
Well, as an AI agency or if you're selling to marketing, clients. So kind of onboard them, or even as if you wanted to sell as a SaaS.
Yeah. I like to target people that are already spending money on marketing. So first off, before I started my companies, I worked for web.com in their call center. That was my first sales job. And they eventually first off, I was #1 in my second month, President's Club the first year. Then they closed that product down went to a different digital marketing company, and I was a cold caller again. I was number one my first month. I quit to start my solar company and broke the all-time sales record. So I can tell you the way the big guys do it is running. You want to start by cold calling and then move into paid ads. Paid ads is how you're going to scale, but you need to get enough recurring revenue. And people try to do it two ways. You can either sit down and do the hard work cold calling, or you can try to, some people are going to try to do a bunch of cold texting and things that are really not legal. It's not going to scale very well. You can end up with lawsuits. And so I really advocate calling. And then you want to cold call. I can tell you the strategy I use. I find a list of my competitors, clients, and I call their gatekeeper, call the front desk, and I say, I'm calling about this account. And you could say, hey, I work with a lot of people that work with the same company you're with, and I help them with their AI systems. I wondered if you're open to to us taking a look at it. Now, if I was you, I would focus on selling the new AI SEO features as an AI agency. I can tell you in digital marketing space, the stickiest clients are the ones where you've done their website and you're doing their SEO. Everything else is not near as sticky as those things. And almost all the really big digital marketing firms I know, they are doing SEO and websites as their main thing, even ones that started recently. And so that's what I would lead with. And you can use the AI angle to get into the conversation. But I have some scripts that can help you with that. And this website right here is really the secret. So even right here, I can get a list of all 726,000 websites on HighLevel. And I can get their front desk number and I can call and say I'm calling for HighLevel. You're not, I'm calling about the HighLevel account.
Rob,
And
on there, I'm sorry to cut you off.
go ahead.
On there, can we find everybody who's with ZocDoc?
ZocDoc. How do you spell it?
ZocDoc.
Yep. Boom. So you can download all the clients and then you can call and say, I'm calling about ZocDoc. So tell us about ZocDoc. I never heard of this.
It's basically a platform that gets the medical providers leads
Okay.
and stuff like that.
That's great if you're calling med clinics. And so you can call them, say, I'm calling about the ZocDoc account, and be like, yep, I specialize in building HIPAA compliant marketing systems for med clinics. I know ZocDoc's got your client management taken care of and the process after the signature, but HighLevel is the only thing that can have fully HIPAA compliant AI intake systems. And that's the same pitch I use with attorneys, but it's very true for medical clinics. I made a YouTube video about that specifically. I know I talked about it in this call too. But yeah, bro, that's exactly how I would do it. I would cold call using that exact pitch. 50% of the time, they're going to say, are you with ZocDoc? And you're not going to get anywhere. But 50% of the time, you're going to be on the phone with the owner. And just knowing what product they're with, that they're already spending money, is the most important piece of information you could have in cold calling. And honestly, all the big digital marketing firms, from working inside their call centers, I can tell you, they all work like this. You're kind of calling other digital marketing firms clients, because the best digital marketing clients are not ones that don't currently pay for digital marketing. The best ones are already paying for it. So that's my 2 cents. Do we have any other questions, guys? Anybody need to book on the one-on-one link? If anybody still needs it, let me know. I'll drop it again real quick.
Question: if I sign up on Go HighLevel through your affiliate account, does that make me a client?
Yeah.
Or is that a side gig?
It makes you get into all my resources I mentioned earlier. So it's not it's not done for you. We won't do stuff for you, but we will answer your questions. You get the courses, you get the apps, you get the snapshot and all that stuff, and the group coaching calls. So if you do that, bro, you can do it there from that page. But if you want me to if you know you're good with doing that, just go ahead and book a one-on-one and then text me after. I'll send you the sign-up link. We'll get on that meeting together. I'll personally onboard you, approve your access, and get you into the community, get you started. And I just dropped that one-on-one link there in the chat. Guys, give me what more could we talk about in the next training? So I want to start taking requests. Is there any specific trainings that you guys would like to see on Tuesday or Thursday? You can drop them in the chat if you've got them.
Yeah, I got one.
What are you thinking of?
Just, I guess a lot of people are trying to figure out how to transition from whatever they're doing, incorporate AI, and then reaching out to companies. So, just the setup of how you
The
can start
sales
using
training.
everything you're doing to run a business.
Yeah. So we've got the course on setting up the whole tech side, but you're exactly right. What people really want is the sales side. And so I've got a few videos. If you go on my YouTube, do you have me on YouTube yet?
Yeah, I subscribe over here, so I'm gonna check you out later.
Cool. So I've got two videos on prospecting, and I have been like really changing the different ways. I was using seamless AI to get attorneys direct phone lines. That really didn't work well enough. And then I started trying to call other uh companies, clients. Like I was using Paper Street. It's a big marketing firm for attorneys. But I'm telling you guys, like if you know high level well, that list of high level clients, like you can go and find people that are with agencies who are not doing a good job. Some of them are going to be happy, but look, it's a dog eat dog world. People are trying to steal my clients, and I'm going to try to. I mean, I'm going to try to get theirs too. So I'm going to call and say, "What about the high level account?" And I want to do a free consultation. Make sure you're using the platform to the fullest. And that agency owner better hope that they're using the platform to the fullest, because otherwise, it'll be my client. Yeah, there's not. You can't be lazy. High Level is a great platform, but you're gonna have to deliver top notch services to keep your clients. And I'm happy to show you guys how to do that and how to get clients. But bro, I think one thing you were saying, I could do a training on the next call. So I'm gonna have the videos up there with like recordings of me actually live cold calling. But I am gonna kick it off with like I'll do a meeting like this where we go over
Hello,
um
can you hear me?
yeah,
Yeah, I signed up for the Go High Level certification. How useful do you think that will be?
I think that's very useful, bro. Like I said, so you can call and say, hey, I'm calling about the high level account. I want to do a deep dive with you guys. I like to work with all the attorneys that are on the platform and make sure they're taking advantage. But if they say, are you with high level? And you can say, yeah, or you can say, you don't say yes, but be like, I'm a high level certified admin, number XYZ. They're gonna put you through, bro. And you didn't say anything wrong. And now you've got a lead pool of 500,000 people in the US. You can call that all day. And even if you don't take them from that agency, you can say, hey, let me be your admin. Let me work in your high level account for you guys. I can help you set up this and that, which you don't have set up. There's room for all of us to get in. And that's how I'm going to do it, And so, yeah, bro, I have a lot of students who are getting certified for that reason. So there's people that are selling for me, and I'll take them in and I'll say, hey, look, you don't need a high level account yet. I'll teach you how to close and sell, get your certification, and then I'll show you how to make a living off of other high level clients or other high level users. And the thing is, once you build up a reputation in high level, it's so easy for me to get in that front door and get a conversation. So it's just like if I was like one of the best people with HubSpot or Salesforce, who are the best people for them to call? Big companies who are already using Salesforce and HubSpot. It's just how it is. So
Today, Tuesday, and what other day?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
1 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are all getting the invites, and so I'm going to keep sending them out for my current clients that are on here. You guys, I'm sure you noticed I'm sending out messages a little differently now. I'm like letting you guys know what the training is about. Trying to get everybody to get booked into one of these recurring meetings for the current clients, so I can get you guys moving faster. But guys, that's all I got today. It was a pleasure to meet you. Dude, financial literacy services. Can you give me your name again, bro? I'm gonna forget.
Lawrence Hicks. I booked the one-on-one with you, so we're gonna be talking soon.
Cool. All right, cool, bro. Looking forward to seeing you there. And if anybody else has questions, just text back the number you got the meeting invite from, and I'll help you out. All right, see you guys on Tuesday.
Hey,
You're welcome,
Rob.
Alicia.
Rob,
Yeah.
you might not hear this enough, but you are definitely doing your thing. You're providing some killer value.
Thank you, man.
They're not many people in Go High Level at all that are working as hard as you, bro. Straight up.
Well, thank you so much, bro. It really does mean a lot for me to hear that, because I work really hard so that people see it and so they have that reaction. I want to be the best. I want to be the best high level affiliate. I want to help people learn how to start digital marketing companies. And I really believe with the AI stuff that's going on, people are scared of AI replacing their jobs. But the truth is, with high level, I replaced the marketing company that I worked for. It does a better job at all the services we used to sell. And us as the salespeople, we're the hard ones to replace. So I'm excited for you guys all to kind of come up together with me. And